Okay, Brian. Just a few quick questions for you. Can you introduce yourself, your industry, and what you do?
Cian, how are you doing? My name is Brian Noonan. I'm the commercial manager with Robar Civil here in Brisbane. We're heavily involved in FRP works for bridge works. We do a lot of drainage earthworks, and that's our kind of main area at the moment. We've works all over Australia. Currently Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia, and we're in and out of Victoria. Yeah, and we're 6 years on the go this year.
Brilliant. So no WA yet?
No WA yet, but hopefully we'll get there at some stage.
Good. Okay, so look, what made you want to work with Quantum, and kind of more importantly, what made you want to use the post-awards side of our services?
Well, look, I suppose we started off, as most small companies, we started off fairly small and fairly lean with what we had. And thankfully, due to just the way our works were going and progressing, we started winning a lot more work and a lot larger contracts as well. I suppose we have a team in-house of project managers and engineers. I have a QS background, but mainly it was purely to make sure that we had that contractual stability and surety. As I say, as the jobs were getting bigger and we were going from relationship-based stuff to actual hard-nosed contracting, that we look to take Cian and take yourself, Cian, and your team on board and get as much support as possible. We started off with the contract review things because obviously for the first couple of years we were very eager just to get work, and we weren't that massively heavy on the contracts, whereas I suppose that's changed now, and we need to be sure that we're not signing up to anything that leaves us very open to, I suppose, punishment at the end of a contract, really.
Yeah.
Look, sorry.
Okay, so what would you say that the value you got directly and indirectly for you and Robar was?
Well, I suppose the first thing is that contract expertise. From my perspective, I background, as I say, as a QS, but purely I went straight in as a contractor's QS, so a lot of on-site work in my early days, and then mainly more the commercial side of things, sort of financial side of things and all that, rather than the contract side. So when we were reviewing contracts here, obviously we had certain things that we focused on because we knew what they were, we knew what the risks were, but the general clauses in contracts and things like that, we really weren't sure on. So the first step and the first thing we noticed with Quantum was that surety and that expertise of what to look for and what to make sure we tighten up on has been a huge benefit. The second thing in 2020 that has been massive has obviously with the COVID-19. We were very lucky in the early months that we had I would say our work probably picked up. We had no real issues with it, but we've seen, especially in South Australia in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the advantages of yourself, Cian, giving us the advice on getting epidemics and pandemics and the effects thereof included or excluded from our subcontract. So that's been a massive help and a massive bonus that if we didn't have you on board, it would have been missed by us.
Okay, brilliant. And what would you say to someone thinking about engaging Quantum and specifically maybe the post-award stuff?
Yeah, look, the post-award stuff, we have contracts on the go here everywhere, and we've won just numerous contracts in the last 2 months alone, that if it was just me or just a project manager trying to handle or a regional manager trying to handle, there's no way we'd be able to keep on top of all the notice of delays, all the scope changes, notice of variations, letters to clients, advice on how to deal with certain situations that we find ourselves in. And look, it's been a huge benefit to have, and a huge relief that we know as soon as something gets sent to you, be it from our project manager, our site supervisor, our project engineer, that it's getting dealt with and it's getting dealt with properly. And it's a massive comfort and I suppose relief for us to know that we don't need to worry about it, we don't need to stress about these things, and we're not leaving the risk until the end of a project to try and shake hands with the client and make a deal at the end of it. We're getting our most bang for our buck.
Brilliant. Is the service what you expected?
Yeah. To be fair, I think in hindsight, looking back, we probably haven't. It's been ourselves and just how busy we are that we probably haven't got as much as we know we can get out of it until recently, and that's obviously not Quantum's fault. It's us passing the information on to you. But definitely, look, there has nothing that's not been actioned. It's like everything. We always make the excuse that we're too busy to do anything, but we're getting a situation internally now that we're confident with the way we handle the information and the way we pass it on to you and the way we action it once you send it back to us, which is.
So any other thoughts or last words about the process that you think would be helpful to others to know and understand? Or
look, I would say just take the plunge and give it a try. I suppose with everything new, myself and Barry here had lots of conversations about, you know, is it worth taking the plunge? What will we get out of X, Y, and Z? But once we did actually make the plunge and saw the benefits of having you on board and having you in the background with us, that like it's a no-brainer now. Absolutely, I would recommend for all similar sized contractors, and smaller, bigger, everything regardless. It's a great support to have and a great team that you have there in the background.
Okay, brilliant. I really appreciate that.